All right, Unit 8, Lesson 33 is going to be another proportion hypothesis testing section, except now, instead of comparing it to a particular number, we're going to take two population proportions and compare them to each other. It'll be pretty obvious when you're doing the problems of, whether this is going to be a one sample or a two sample, because in the one sample they're going to say, is it, greater than or less than or whatever a number, whereas this one is going to say, is blank greater than blank, instead of putting a number in there. Let me show you what I mean. So your null hypothesis for this section is always going to be that proportion 1 is equal to proportion 2. And the alternative is either going to be that the two things are equal to each other, less than, the first one's less than the second one, or the first one's greater than the second one. So just like the other one, you're going to have equal to for null and not equal to, less than, or greater than for the alternative, except now you're just not going to have a number at the end, you're going to have the other proportion. So the first thing that you're going to have to do with these things is you're going to have to identify which one you're calling population number 1, or for the first proportion, and then what number 2 is. And then you're going to compare them, find a p-value, and from there it'll be the same idea. So on this one, we're doing a 2 proportion z-test because we're going to, have 2 proportions. All right, researchers designed a survey to compare the proportions of children who came to school without eating breakfast in 2 low-income elementary schools. A simple random sample of 80 students from school 1 found that 19 had not eaten breakfast at school 2. They took a 150 student sample, 26 had not had breakfast. Does the data give convincing evidence of a difference in the population proportions? All right, so first of all, I'm going to call school number 1 population 1, school number 2 population number 2. So my null hypothesis for this would be that they are equal to each other. And this one I'm looking, is there a difference? So it's equal to, or it's not equal to. All right, so then I'm going to go into the calculator and, oops, that's not the calculator. That is. Stat, tests, number 6, 2 proportion z-test. All right, so in my first sample, there was 19 out of 80. And in my second one, there was 26 out of 150. I am trying to determine if there is a difference. So not equal to on that. Calculate. So again, we're looking for a p-value. So here it is right here on this third line down. So 0.243. All right, so 0.243 is greater than the level of significance that we get, which is 0.5. So that means we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Okay. So our conclusion would be there is not enough evidence to show there is a difference between the two populations, between the two schools. All right, so that's how you do 2 proportion z-tests. So that's lesson 33. Let me know if you have any questions.